Before we can get into this episode of the DevCast, be sure to like, subscribe, and join our community link down below. Hello everyone and welcome to the DevCast, your weekly Roblox podcast for all Roblox-related content and personal up-close interviews and conversations with some of your favorite Roblox creators. I am your host, Dev4Hi, and this is my co-host, Unix Developer. Welcome to our weekly news roundup where we talk about all the spicy stuff that's been happening this week. And so far, it's been a very, very busy week. But, you know, we actually have so much news at this point. We actually have to choose the news that we're actually... we're going to have to kind of pick which ones are actually more important over the other, because there's just so much news. It's actually ridiculous. So, yeah, let's actually just break down the events that have happened this week, essentially. So, recently, KSI has been launching his newest event for his most recent album. I'm not sure if it's an album or if it's a song, but yeah, he's hosting his own he's hosting his own event on the Roblox platform, which is quite interesting. The new talent hub has been released. I'm not exactly sure if it's in beta just yet. Roblox is now allowing you to confirm your identity when logging in by choosing the games that you've previously played, which is something quite interesting. And lastly, not lastly, so this is the second topic, last topic, is Roblox has recently acquired Bash, a video conferencing platform. So we'll get into that as well. And then group owners are now required to pass two-step verification when changing the owner of their group. But by force, you will have to have two-step verification. So, yeah, let's actually just get started. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, the KSI event, what were your thoughts on it, Unix? Because I know you attended it.
What's on the event? In my opinion, it's flawed. I mean, yes, they made some... If you don't know, if you're talking about it, they released the event. We all know that event always rushed and quickly rushed. And that. So it's a rushed event, quick key points, rushed. The people who made it really didn't have the geography of London. So it's a bit of a shame. But if you look past that, the event, how it plays out, it's a good event. It has it's the same event as previous events that you might have been to.
Yeah.
And from what I can see, so that's like this our last event, what I can see is that it's the same script apart from the go-kart script in place of the boat racing thing that they had last time. And from its outlook, it's a really good event for kids. For any above a kid, it's sadly out of their range.
Yeah.
Which even though KSI should be reaching those markets, it just fails.
Yeah.
So from marketing point of view, I think it's a mistake. But push that aside, it's a good event.
Well, it's well made. Works. The game is well made in itself. It's I would say in some areas it's all right, but I mean, despite the geographical inaccuracies of actual London, because KSI actually referred to it as virtual London. I think for both of us, I think we can both confirm that is not virtual London. That's more like I don't know, some virtual place. I don't know. And you know what the funniest part was that ironically, was, you know, considering this was made by Americans, not from the UK, Americans. One of the UGC hats was named the London flag instead of the British flag. They called it
British,
the London
UK.
flag.
So UK is mixed with Scottish and English.
Yeah.
England flag mashed together.
That UGC hat
UK.
was literally the British flag.
United Kingdom.
Yeah, they
should be calling it the UK flag.
The UK flag, yeah, the United. Oh yeah. But
they can't even get that right. I don't know what they can get right.
But you know what? It makes me wonder. Would you be able to accurately make an American place?
Yes, I would use something called Google Earth, which everyone has access to. And I'm sorry, the Americans made that, didn't they? The Americans made a tool they can't even use. Okay. Beyond me.
So far, the event is actually happening right now. In fact, I think it's already passed us by now. But
yeah. But all criticism aside, and big mistakes.
Oh yeah, there was one thing I could actually touch on, is that the go-karts kept on getting traffic jammed.
Yeah, but
kept
they
on getting.
fixed that
Yeah, they
problem
did
though
fix it, but it was quite funny.
by making the game more boring. You just go through other.
Yeah, I know
They
what
sort
you
of like
mean.
defeated the objective of go karting, like
Yeah.
make to collide with other people.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I don't think they allowed a cap on how many people can go in. I think so. I think just people just kept on flooding in, and all the cars just kept on getting jammed. People's wheels were missing.
Well, I think the most biggest flaw was the width of the track. They restricted themselves with the width. If they made it wider, those jams could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and where
yeah.
it happened was where everyone spawned. So I don't think it's a mixture of the amount of people. I just think it's the geography of the track.
Yeah.
And where they clogged up was the spawn point, which I think
Yeah. Yeah.
cars must have plugged out or something. Anyway, we won't get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Let's moving on.
Yeah, the KSI event aside, so far, recently, Roblox has been rolling out with the newest installment of the Talent Hub. So if for anyone who doesn't know what the Talent Hub is, it's a new platform where people can actually register to essentially show themselves as a person who is ready for work, or any person who's willing to be hired. So any participant who is on the platform essentially can register and show all their previous achievements and all these different types of things that they could essentially use to show off their portfolio and who they are as a person.
It goes a bit deeper than that. You not only can show your portfolio and your actual work stance, you can sources that I've known have said that that you can use currency like USD and Roblox. But what hasn't been confirmed yet has been the intelligence of, are you going to be taxed to the system? Now, from how we know how systems play out so far, is that if you're going to pay someone through a Roblox group, it won't be taxed because you've already been taxed for the money going into the group, so you just pay them up front. Which does raise the question of what's going on there, because we actually don't understand the whole system, because if they tax people through that system, it's going to be a flop, but it's not been released or dedicated. The other thing is that the Talent Hub is very clever because it's the equivalent of what you do on the dev forum so far, where you request a job or something and someone will come in and message say, hey, I would like to do that. Exactly the same thing, but the difference is that it's in a Fiverr. If you've ever heard of Fiverr, it's a company where people can put job listings up to do a task. And then people go type in, I need a scripter. They'll go on there, find a scripter, they'll put their proposal in, and they have their price range.
Yeah. Same
thing, just a mirror of that, just Roblox's take on it. But from what I can see, it is going to be a bit more sophisticated than it looks at this current moment.
Yeah, I was actually quite underwhelmed. I thought there was going to be more to the hub. I thought it was going to be a little bit more complicated. But I actually already got confused when I was actually using it. I don't know if it's because I haven't used LinkedIn before. I haven't touched LinkedIn in ages. Some people saying, oh, it's like LinkedIn. I know.
Who knows? Oh, God. But yeah, what they've got a messaging system.
Yeah.
So you can message people privately, TikTok about it. It just seems like it's a very good place to start as a developer, but but then there is a but to that, because I think beginners will be overlooked through this system, because you are to put in how many years and your experience in years, and I think that is a cut-off point, because you could get 3 to 4 people applying. And then let's say the best person has 2 years and the worst person has 10 years experience. That experience on years will overwhelm the people on the platform other than the skill. So there is a barrier there where, that's not in all cases, but I'm just using that as an example where how they filter. It's a filter. So I think that is going to be an interesting, I'm intrigued how that's going to play out.
Yeah, so far there are verified creators on the Talent Hub, but I'm not exactly sure what the criteria is. I think it's mostly people who have participated in the beta phase, but apparently you're supposed to have certain filled out requirements on your dev forum profile. So I think they just chose via it that way, essentially. But I thought that was quite interesting. I was thinking, why
It's
the heck
under
do
a
I don't
lock
have the
and
beta?
key.
And then I'm like, oh, I forgot. I barely use the dev forums because it's
You're
mostly
not
terrible.
special enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because of all the strange stuff that's posted on there. But yeah. Anyways,
We don't have enough time for it.
no, we don't have enough time to talk about the dev forums. That's for sure. Yeah. All right. But anyway, yeah. Moving on. Roblox is now
I'm intrigued
allowing
about
you.
this one.
Yeah, Roblox is now allowing you to confirm your identity when logging in by choosing the games you last played. I mean, can anyone even remember the games they last played? I mean,
I think this one is a bit weird because me being 19, I don't remember what games I've last played.
yeah, like what games did you last play in the last 7 days? I'm like I know. Like, I wouldn't
don't
be.
know.
Imagine being locked out of your account for that reason.
I'm intellectually thick.
Yeah, yeah.
When you think about it, but you
Like-
just don't.
Like I could barely.
Unconsciously playing.
I could barely go through all those. I could barely go through all those things where you essentially have to like guess how many numbers are on a specific dice that add up to something or something like that. Like I felt so stupid. I felt like this was like kindergarten stuff, and it felt like climbing a mountain. It was so hard. It was ridiculous. Just to add up the amount of dots on a dice to a specific number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
you
took
get
me
what I'm talking
forever.
about. Yeah, it does take you
Yeah,
forever.
that verification.
I'm like, how is a
I
kid
stared-
supposed to know
I stared
this?
at it and I thought, oh my. But do you know what's more funny is imagine if a parent is trying to log into their kid's account.
You're like, oh.
Son, daughter, what was the last games you played?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I could barely get through that dice thing alone. I wouldn't even be able to tell what the last game I played was.
Yeah, I know. That's just a step too far.
Just
Oh god.
wacky. But I don't think there's really necessarily too much to talk about that, except for how dumb we probably are. And the fact that we can't even remember the last game we ever played. I don't know. Is that like an IQ thing, or are we just genuinely dumb?
IQ.
I don't know. What is it?
When you play games on Roblox, you don't play games to remember the game. You play the game. If you enjoy the game, you leave it and you're out.
Yeah.
And then you forget about it. And that's where their flaw in their system is. Because you play a bunch of crap games and you don't want to remember them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's say
I play terrible games. Like I've played some games that are absolutely horrible just to see what they look like.
There's a flaw in this system, right? There's a flaw in this system. Let's say you played Pet Simulator, right? And you're playing Simulator, and they say, "What's your last game?" Well, I played Pet Simulator, but there's an X behind it.
Oh, I see. But you know what they do is they do show the game they do show the games like on the thing, and they say which ones did you play.
But
you can look at the image,
on the
but
same one. All the icons are so
yeah,
similar.
let's just say you've played like 3 different pet simulators, and then you get suggested like one is actually wrong, because they do suggest wrong ones, by the way. They're not all. So you actually do have to guess.
So you're stuck.
Yeah. So can you imagine if you played? If you imagine if you played Pet Simulator, the very first Pet Simulator, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and for some reason you can remember playing that, but then you remember you played Pet Simulator X, but you completely forgot. So you keep on clicking the Pet Simulator one, and it's wrong. It's Pet Simulator X, not Pet Simulator.
You can't win.
No, you can't win. No.
Same with Murder Mystery. Hang on a minute.
How many murder mysteries are there? What if I played a smaller one? Yeah. What if I played the second one, but then I completely. This is horrible.
You can't win. I mean, the only games.
It's all about memory, I guess.
Jailbreak.
I mean,
and
Jailbreak's so
Bloxburg,
obvious. I can remember if I played Jailbreak. I mean.
Yeah, because there's no 1 or 2.
Yeah.
There's just one version.
That'd be quite funny. Yeah.
I don't think this has been thought out.
Well, it depends on how they suggest games. So hopefully they make it in a way that it's easy enough. But anyway, let's actually just move on to our next topic. So Roblox has recently acquired a business known as Bash, which is a video conferencing platform. So now I'm assuming this is a new way to connect people on the so-called metaverse. So, but I'm not exactly sure for what reason why, and you actually took a look into it. So, would you actually mind explaining
I
what
read the bio on that.
Yes. Yeah. What was that all
From what
about?
I read through all of the business like wording, which sort of is like a bit of a mind trap. Really.
Yeah.
You're reading through it and you just think this is just a load of rubbish. In my opinion, I think you should take a read.
They should take a what? Sorry.
A read.
A read.
On Bash. So what they said is that it's meant to bring. They did mention UGC. From how I see it, like at the moment they're using Discord, like you can link Discord underneath your groups. I think that Bash will eventually be able to link a Bash thing underneath probably your group or something, and it's gonna. I think it could have the potential of taking out Discord.
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking.
Interesting.
You know what is quite interesting? I think Roblox are actually targeting all different types of areas. For example, voice chat. I think voice chat, they're actually going up against Valve and Gmod. And then with this video conferencing thing, they're going up with Discord. You know, so I feel like they're targeting each individual market so they can be self-sustaining.
It's competing.
I think it's all about self-sustainment. Because of course, Roblox, of course, wouldn't want people having to go onto different other platforms and trying their platforms other than them. If that feature's already built in, people might as well take a shot at it, you know, and then maybe it could work out. And the platform as well, and the hiring platform as well. It's like fighting against LinkedIn. And I'm saying Roblox is actually establishing several different. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be.
I think we could be wrong. I think we could be wrong because I know many companies are using Zoom for meetings. I know Roblox are. I'm not going to say any more about that. From what I know, but they use Zoom, and I think this actually could be another Zoom for all the HRs and all of the.
Probably.
Corporate lot.
Yeah, it could be the corporate side.
So maybe we've taken the projection too big of a picture.
It would be quite cool, though.
More narrow than we've seen.
It would be quite cool, like on the actual Roblox
so maybe
website.
They're fed
they
up
actually suggest where you
with
can.
all the pay that they're paying Zoom. So they got to pay Zoom money.
Yeah.
To set up things.
So yeah, it's more of a self-sustaining thing.
So maybe this is Roblox's way of saying sod you Zoom.
Yeah. I think
We're not paying you any more money.
I think Roblox is kind of aiming to go off on the grid on all these different types of things, which is I think it's quite cool. So then it's becoming its own thing, really. Roblox is it's this, it's that, it's this, it's all sorts of things.
Roblox is wanting.
It's gonna be like an entity at this point.
I think it's done for a bargaining trip because if they make a deal that doesn't probably revolve. I mean, a pay or something. There's some sort of deal there.
Yeah.
There's probably something in it for Bash, but maybe they're getting a better deal.
Probably.
Maybe it's not a partnership.
No, it's not a partnership. When you acquire a business, that means they literally bought out Bash. They acquired the business. They've literally moved their people in. It's owned by Roblox now.
If that's the case, and they bought it, that does mean that because they are using because they're using Bevy, aren't they?
But they haven't acquired. I don't think they've acquired Bevy. I think Bevy's a partnership.
No, they've not acquired Bevy, but maybe that might be the step to move away from that. It might be a
maybe. I don't know. Probably.
it's a big question.
Yeah, probably. Maybe not. Maybe questionable, but. Yeah, but Roblox has acquired several other businesses. They acquired a motion capture face company or something like that where they can add motion. Oh, you know what? They actually showed a character rig that was actually leaked where they showed that you can add faces to characters and facial expressions. You can actually equip a face and there was actually a female in the demonstration video that had no clothes on, and it's on Twitter, and they just showed strawberries over here and on top of the bottom because she was completely naked.
It must have been.
It was hilarious.
I bet that was hilarious. Yeah. I think that must have been an awkward leak because that's probably one of.
It was an unlisted video. It was an unlisted video that someone found of them demonstrating the new Arthro body, right? Just like completely naked, but with facial expressions that you can equip. You can go like all different types of faces. You can literally equip a face. It was so weird. I was like, what? And it showed the motion
Have you still got this?
Oh, yeah. I can send it to you afterwards. We'll probably take a look afterwards. Yeah.
Be astonished.
Yeah. It was quite interesting. But, yeah, moving on Yeah, let's actually get on to our last topic. I don't think there's really anything we can discuss here, but except just at least acknowledge it. That group owners are now required to pass two-step verification by force when changing the ownership of their group. So now you must have two-factor authentication enabled on your account in order to do so.
I think it's a bit late. It's a bit late on this.
It is quite a bit late. I think they could have. But I mean, hey,
because
I
if
mean,
they
it's
wanted
here.
to sort the problem out of stealing groups, we're a bit late.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing. They've not
Nothing
achieved anything.
really special about it, but yeah. I mean, I think
Spent
security
money on
was
something that they should have done a long time ago.
I think, yeah, I think security was quite a bit on fire quite a long time ago. It's like when the forests finally burnt down. Now they just stop splashing water all over the place. You know, it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
But
a bit late. They're all burned
a bit
down.
late, but you know, whatever. We'll take it. Other than that, we'll
Well,
take
it's
it.
better than never.
Better than never. But yeah, all right. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning into the DevCast, and yeah, we'll see you guys all next week.
We'll see you
Cheers.
next time, and I hope we're not too negative.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers. Yeah.